All right, good afternoon. It is Friday, April 18th. Good Friday, actually. We're doing a quick roof leak inspection right here. Honestly, this one came in a week or two ago after some big crazy storms we've had. I have just been falling behind. Just had a chance to stop by. When I took the call, I always get detail. He says northwest side of the house, trying to work this one in because I'm falling behind. Knowing the section, no one's home. That's why I try to get the detail on it. Right here, I see a dip and looking. I'm checking penetrations, things like that, and I already found the issue. We're gonna see if we can learn from it real quick. So it's an older 3-tab roof, but there's a soft dip spot right here. When I initially saw it, I was under the power line over here trying to be careful. So looking this direction, didn't see it until I jumped over here. And you can clearly see there's a torn shingle right here, which is not good at all. So we're gonna look at the evidence, what may have caused this. A possible thought here. So one, obvious, you got some big trees and maybe a limb hit it, but I don't think that's the case because it would have probably damaged this top shingle right here. I wonder, this is just a thought, that maybe these were installed in the cold winter time potentially, or below freezing. It's very common that bundles are froze. There's moisture in them. Whether they claim they cooled the shingles during manufacturing, the water got stuck and froze, I don't necessarily think that's the case. They have a chance to dry out. It's more so my thought and opinion doing this long enough. They're out in the yard somewhere at a warehouse, a supply house. They get rained on, it soaks in, then they freeze, and then you get it in the winter. If you're in the northern region and it's below freezing, I don't like roof in the winter. This is one of the reasons. It's very common the bundles snap. They're trying to fold them and flex them to snap the shingles apart, and I've seen them literally crack. Whether it's so a 3-tab is going to be, try to find an edge of a 3-tab here. Well, anyway, 3 tabs, 1, 2, and 3. They're usually froze, so they go to snap them over a ridge, over a knee, let one end hit, try to snap the shingles so they all break free, but they can crack, sometimes typically in a weak spot. That's not usually going to crack an entire area, but where a weak part where there's less material. So there's a notch here, there's only this part at the headlap, and they tend to crack in that vicinity. Sometimes they can crack on a corner. So just knowing that, I don't know where the crack originated from, but you can clearly see it crack from this point coming up all the way through here, probably up there. Whether that's it or not, it's hard telling, but I don't think a tree hit this right here. It could have been that they cut it. I don't know, but that is clearly the evidence. You're seeing the remnants of the debris being washed in this gaping tear right there. I haven't done anything to this. We're gonna look and try to investigate a little bit further. I do see that. It's typically a nail pop under it that causes that. So we're gonna look here. I don't see a nail there that caused that, so that's interesting. Let's look under here. There's a lot of debris, a lot of dirty marks. You can see where the water runs in. That's the evidence you're looking for. So that slit right there, you can see it all washing in. It misses the shingle up under here. You can see up there. Gets into this, rest this out, same here. Once it starts to sag over time, then the water flows in from all directions and then starts sagging more. It's never gonna flow over the hump and just gonna work its way into this dip. You can kind of see the dip is there. It's hard to see in the camera, but trust me, here's a dip. If I stood on this, it would bust through. It's rotten. It's all originating from right there. So what we're gonna do in a pinch, because they are calling for 3 days of storms, we're just gonna take some step flashing. It's a nice freebie. I'm not gonna be here, turn a blind eye to it. Hey, Mr. Homer's gonna be $17 quadrillion, and yeah, I'm smiling. No, that's shady. I look at this as building a good brand, sharing what I know here, and if I can make a few bucks doing it, then great. And if not, hey, at least he's gonna be a good advocate. Be like, yep, he didn't even charge, he took care of it, stopped the issue. Hey, some people are fine with that. But the brand and the growth you can get long-term. I'm not looking at the paycheck today. I'm looking at the long-term brand and reputation and people speaking highly about it. So you can do what you want to do. If you want to chase the buck now or build something that's going to last, that's the way I'm taking a look at it. So with what I'm going to do, real quick, I took 2 pieces of step flashing out of the truck. They're aluminum. I bent them semi-flat. You know, it's not rolled flat. It is kind of hacked into a flat piece. This is free, as I said. We're going to shove this under that shingle there, up to get past that tear. This, I stress, is not a repair. This is nothing more than a, hey, I did something free, it should stop the issue. You could probably leave it that way, but we're getting 3 days of heavy rain. I cannot get this done. I'm falling behind. I'm at least gonna communicate, document this for you guys out there, maybe send him the link, see. It's probably gonna stop it. You can mitigate it from getting further. I mean, let this roof go a little bit farther and old and then replace it down the road. You could probably leave this. But if you wanted to, after what I do here, we're gonna quote a repair of splitting the shingles free here in this area. You're gonna have to cut at least from this rafter to this rafter, put a plug of wood in. I don't always recommend one rafter. I always try to go over one. So in this case, we're gonna jump from here, here to here, or the same on that side, or even go 4. It doesn't need to be an 8-foot sheet. Depending upon where it hit, it could be in a 2. I'm guessing, don't want that to blow away, up 4 foot. It's probably right in this general area, so it's going to be 1 sheet. But when you go rafter to rafter on 24, especially with OSB, if you stand on that and you're a big guy, it could snap in. So always try to cross at least 2 into the 3rd or more, either direction. Any way you slice the pie, it just disperses the weight a lot better. It's going to hold up there a lot better. Even if you use plywood, it's still better, good rule of thumb, to not just put a 1 rafter plug in. So once that's done, you got your wood in, you can put some ice and water, some synthetic, whatever, try to tuck it under your paper above, and then shingle it back. In this case, it's 3-tap, put 3-tap back in. Seal your work down. Most importantly, if these are new shingles, they're gonna stick wherever their seal is to the old, but so like, I'm gonna describe this. It's natural to me because it comes in my head. See that little goop of seal strip right there? It's on this shingle. So if I were to replace this and it is a top seal, it's gonna stick here. But the old to the new will never stick. So you need to make sure wherever that transition is on the high or the low or down, staggered down your sides, there's an area where there's old seal. It's never gonna seal, so seal those up, otherwise it'll blow away. So let's just do this real quick. See if I can set this here, hopefully not shut my phone off. We're just gonna get this lifted up, get this shoved up under there. And if you see where that is, where my thumb is, about right here, just to give you a reference, that's past the next common bond area there, and it's plenty wide. So if any water poured into this, it's not gonna pose a problem because it's gonna come down on that piece of metal and out. Now, we do need to address these nail holes, that it is loose and weak and fatigued here, that it doesn't leak in around those and continue to get worse. We're also gonna try to address down the sides a little bit. So we're gonna goop some goopity goo in here, around, kind of like a little shape like this to seal off those ends. And we'll probably put a little goop in here. I don't want to break this seal strip right here, but ideally you'd pop those 2 nails. You can see there's a keyway where it splits right there. So this is a factory edge of 2 shingles. So there's going to be 2 nails here. But if you could pop those up, you would shove this one in there under those right here to cover this completely. And that would be good. You would nail it off, seal it off. So just 2 things you could do in a pinch. This is complete freebie, not a repair. I get some of you, oh my God, that's a hack job. I'm not charging for this. This is straight up free, giving you guys, new guys, some DIYers, homeowners, some information to go off of, see a visual. I grew up as a visual kid. I like to see things. That's all this is. Hey, Mr. Homeowner, I found the issue. A proper repair would be this. Hey, by the way, I did something free, absolutely no charge. It might stop the problem. You might be good until you get your roof replaced. Do what you want to do. My name is Brian, Grand Roofing. If you need something, give me a shout. Anyway, until next time, be safe. We'll see you on the next one.